friends! It's Audra Monk, the Crafty Yogi, and welcome to the Crafty Corner and your Yoga for Crafters video today. Oh, so am I late? I'm like 3 minutes late. So it's 2-ish. I'll try to do these live. My current plan right now, unless something changes, is Wednesdays at 2-ish. See, my cuckoo just cuckooed. So if you don't know me, I'm Audra Monk, the Crafty Yogi. I've been a yoga teacher for 20 years, and I've been a paper crafter for 10. I adore everything about Stampin' Up, so I'm always sharing all of that. But I know it's important for a little self-care for all of us, and so I like to encourage us to take a yoga break. If you don't catch us live, totally fine. On Facebook, you could search videos. On YouTube, you could also search Yoga for Crafters on my YouTube channel, and both of those are called The Crafty Yogi. And also on YouTube, there's a playlist, which has, I try to remember, I don't always get them in there, but it has a lot of the videos all together in one playlist, so you could go there. All right, so today we're gonna start, sorry, I have this little cold I'm getting over, and I started to laugh and snort at the same time. Okay, so we always start with just setting things up, and then today we're gonna take care of the lower body. We're gonna do the hamstrings. These videos are short, they're meant to be just some little tools you can put in your life that will make your crafting and all of everything else go better. All right, so we set up our seat to start. All right, so I have a stool because I do have a stand-up height desk. You can be on a regular chair or a stool, any of those will work. If your chair has a back to it, you might want to slide up more to the front edge of your chair. So the first thing is always to just take a moment to center and settle ourselves. So we want to bring our ankles under our knees and our knees in line with our hips. Some of us, our knees tend to go in or they tend to go out, or we tuck a leg under. I do all of those things. But to settle ourselves in, we'll think of it as like seated mountain pose. We want strong, steady legs. Give the shoulders a nice roll. Oh, sometimes you just do this part and it recenters you and you're ready to get back to work. And rest the arms down. Eyes open or closed. If they're open, you might look down towards the floor in front of you. And we're just going to take one deep breath together. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and we'll exhale the mouth, and we'll make the ha, H-A sound. Okay, so inhale. Exhale, ha. Oh, that is so excellent. So you might move on right there. Otherwise, let's give a little work to the lower body. So first, before we stretch the hamstrings, we will move the legs just a tiny bit. So we're going to pull the belly in, lean back a little bit, and then lift a leg off and hug it in. And you can hold the thigh, you could hold on the knee, kind of depends on your stability and your flexibility. And then we're going to sit back up. See how I tip back up? And we're going to do the other side. So you should feel your sits bones, the little pointy part at the bottom of your pelvis on your chair. Unless you have a nice padded chair, then you might not notice as much. And the belly pulls in when we sit up. Let's do that one more time each side. Just so we're like, okay, my hips and my legs are a little bit awake. And my chair does not have padding, so I definitely am noticing that. It's not the most fun, that transition. Good. All right, so hamstrings, that's the back of the thighs. There's lots and lots of ways to do them, but there's a nice seated way we can stretch them. So take one leg and extend it out. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit more. It is hard to always get the whole thing in. So my foot is flexed and my toes are up. My hips are centered. My other leg is nice and in its neutral position. Roll your shoulders down and back, pull your belly in. Now here's the thing. It doesn't help our legs stretch if we round our low back or upper back. So I'm going to keep it even. And so sometimes if I put my hand on my chest and hand on my low back, it reminds me. And then I'm going to hinge forward at the hips. And your foot might slide forward a little. You might stop here. You might be like, oh my goodness, I feel a lot. My hamstrings are relatively open, so I can go a little more. And then when you find your stopping point, I like to take my hands and put them on the other thigh. Now some people, and I'm not actually a big fan of this, but some people like to reach out and pull on their toe if you can, or they like to put their hand on their leg. I like having both hands on the other thigh, shoulders down and back, heart lifted, belly in, and I'm tilting at the pelvis and the hips. And I'm feeling sensation here to the back of the thigh. Not a ton for me, but a nice little bit. Depending on where you are, right? What if you have, I think this would actually work, another chair or something like that, you could put your, oh, see, now I feel a lot of stretch. Woo! For me, this is a better choice, but for many of us, this is too much. You could also do, something lower, put a bin on the floor. But it does work with the foot on the floor and the hinge forward. And you can also do this standing. Good, so we're gonna breathe here, and then let's come back up. Bring that leg in. Other side, so it's extended, it's straight, you don't have to lock the knee. If things are really tight, your knee's gonna bend, and that's okay. Roll the shoulders down and back. So what do we remember? Upper back and low back, they don't round. We hinge at the hips, we come forward, and then maybe your hands come to that leg. You can also, sometimes I'll do it like this, hands out on the counter, the shelf, the table if you're at like a kitchen table or your desk is lower. Remember, you could lift this leg higher. Sometimes when you hold, you're like, oh, I can go a little deeper. Now, don't fall off your chair, because that could happen. That's one of those ask me how I know things. Sometimes I get a little too enthusiastic. Good, we're breathing here. And then I think we need a couple more breaths here. Couple more breaths. Oh, good job. Thank you for joining me whenever this is. And it's okay if you don't see them live. I just do them live because I think it helps with the Facebook algorithm that the videos show up live. But mostly I'm intending that you will watch these on the replay. And ease your way up. And if you comment, especially on YouTube, I usually get to those once a week or once a week and a half. I'm working on getting better with that. All right. Ooh, give your shoulders a roll. Have a moment to sit. Oh, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to get to work on some crafting and some travel agent training. If you have questions, comments, or requests, please let me know. I hope that this is helpful to you. So stay crafty, stay healthy, stay active, and I'll see you soon.